Hello, everybody, and welcome to Showtime. And, well, this week I can say Happy Easter. Yes, this is going to be an Easter special. And the movie I'll be reviewing for this week, movie called Hop.
E.B. You're about to be crowned the Easter Bunny. Shouldn't you be rehearsing your speech?
Look, Dad, I want to drum in a band. I want to see the world.
Now listen to me. You need to get it together, get rid of these drums, and get your priorities straight.
My dad's right. I do need to get my act together. In Hollywood.
I came to dance.
All great artists suffer before they become famous. That lady wrote Harry Potter in a ditch. Excuse me. I'm E.B. And you are?
Fred.
We gon' rock this club.
Please don't go. I'll behave. I'm special. I mean, I'm really special. See?
Jelly beans?
No way.
Oh, yes, Fred. I am the Easter Bunny.
Hop in.
Now, before I get into the movie, I'd like to bring on the people who are going to be reviewing this with me. First off is the man who requested the review of this movie, Chriz the Mole.
I'm here to make Easter excellent.
Okay. And joining us from Rise from the Airwaves, my boss, you know him, you love him, James Phoenix.
Hello there, I'm here to make Easter exciting.
Surrounded by comedians, I am.
Excelsior.
Ah, it's a good thing Aeon's not here. Or he would end
Why? He's a prediction from Mayor of Four Puns. He would love this.
you.
You're right, they'd probably leave him hopping mad. Nah.
This is going to be a very punny review, I can tell. But yes.
Oh, well, that's just exaggeration.
I will put aside the puns.
Thank you. But yes, Hop, movie that came out in 2011, directed by a man named Tim Hill, the same man who directed Alvin and the Chipmunks, and he also wrote SpongeBob SquarePants. So you can already tell what kind of movie this is going to be.
That would be an unfair comparison. SpongeBob kicked ass.
It was good.
Alvin and the Chipmunks knew.
Yes. Well, this movie was kind of, to me, it was kind of eh. It was a fun movie, but we'll get into that. So yeah, let's get into Hop, shall we? The first category, as per usual, is story. The story of Hop is actually a pretty good story. It's pretty unique. It's the story, effectively, of the son of the Easter Bunny, who's destined to take over as Easter Bunny, and he kind of doesn't want to. He's, a teenage / young adult, kind of rebel. He's into rock and roll. He loves to play the drums, and his passion is in drumming, not in being the Easter Bunny. So he does what any young male adult who doesn't like that his parents are trying to force him into the family business would do. He runs away from home. And he meets James Marsden's character, who apparently can't hold a job and is a disappointment in his father's eyes, and he gets kicked out of his parents' house. So they're kind of in the same boat together, and it's kind of a coming of age story, and it's a pretty heartwarming tale. There's some cutesy stuff in it. It's all in all, it's a pretty good story, and it was pretty well told. What do you guys think?
I'll say the character of Fred, played by Cyclops, is basically, it's not that he can't hold a job, it's the same thing with what's going through E.B. E.B. doesn't want to be the Easter Bunny. Every time Fred goes to get these jobs, he just thinks they don't gel with who he is as an individual. He doesn't want to have to conform to their standards. Therefore, in a way, he's a bit of a rebel, just like E.B. is. And I think that makes him like kindred spirits, if you will. So that's kind of cool. It's like a buddy film, if instead of it being like interracial or bad guy, good guy like they normally is, it's guy and bunny. It's fun.
It's like Turner and Hooch. It's man and animal.
It is. But which was the real animal, considering one hit the other with a car?
Touche.
That may be a little too philosophical for a discussion about an Easter bunny.
Indeed.
I feel like I should also mention, we're talking about which is the animal. How about the one that left the other to be mercilessly, theoretically killed by a team of hit bunnies?
Touche.
Well, to be fair, he knew the hit bunnies weren't going to kill him. They were just going to torture him for information. How was he
Still.
supposed to know the damn chickens were like going to mercilessly kill him because they were trying to raise a coup? Spoilers.
Well.
But anyway, since you spoke, Jim, what did you think of the story of this movie?
I think it was a pretty good story. It was kind of cool. It's interesting. I mean, the whole son doesn't want to take over where he's destined to go thing, that's been done to death, but it worked in this movie. The chicken's trying to take over thing, that's been done to a point. In fact, that's sort of a ripoff of the old FAG special Easter egg morning. But
I'll admit most of the key elements of the story have been done to death, but it gets leeway with me, like Christmas movies do, only because it's a holiday film. It's not about going overboard and making a big story no one's seen before. It's just about capturing the spirit of the holiday and getting you excited for it and stuff. So I let it slide, like I let most Christmas films slide.
Speaking of Christmas, there is one thing that I kind of have to take a little bit of exception to with this movie in terms of the story. Did they have to rip off Santa Claus? Like, they literally ripped off Santa Claus. Gave the Easter Bunny a friggin' sleigh and friggin' rain chicks. It's like, really?
They didn't have to, but it was kind of funny.
Still, as Mr. Phoenix said more than once throughout the movie, gimmick infringement! Anywho.
yeah, Easter Bunny ripping off Santa with chicks pulling a sleigh. I think E. Astor Bunnyman might have something to say about that.
Ooh.
Hugh Jackman is the Easter Bunny in Rise of the Guardians.
Ah, I didn't know the character's name. I'm sorry.
E. Astor Bunnyman. Get it? E. Astor.
Yes.
Yes. Haven't seen that film yet.
I haven't
Although
seen
we
it either, but I've
will-
seen enough of the previews to know that he's supposed to be a badass Easter Bunny, and he would not approve of this.
Although, fun fact for people listening, we will be reviewing that soon.
Well, let's move on to the next category then. Acting / characters. Let's take a run through the notable actors and actresses and the characters they play, and then review them. So, the title character, one Fred O'Hare, is being portrayed by one James Marsden, who at one point wore a ruby quartz visor and shot lasers out of his eyes, though he does not do that in this movie. Don't know if that would be an improvement or not. Anyway, we have playing E.B., the son of the Easter Bunny, one Russell Brand, British comedian, very funny. He also has a walk-on cameo where he talks to himself. Again, interesting and funny.
And mispronounces his own name.
And mispronounces his own name, yes. We have Kaylee Cuoco, who plays Sam O'Hare, the sister, legitimate sister, of Fred O'Hare, played by James Marsden. We have voice actor extraordinaire Hank Azaria, who voices two characters, actually, Carlos and Phil. Carlos is the chick who put together the aforementioned coup d'etat by the chickens in the Easter Bunny factory.
That's not nice. Just because he's feminine, you shouldn't call him a chick.
Which I believe he also said was French for coup d'etat.
Yes.
Indeed. No, he said it was French for coup d'etat.
Yep.
Next on the list, we have Dr. House himself, Hugh Laurie, playing the Easter Bunny! And doing a damn good job of it, I might add. We have Chelsea Handler playing a Mrs. Beck. And Mrs. Beck is, I don't know if she was the owner or if she was like the PR person or whatever for this job that Fred O'Hare was applying to was a video game company. So she was pretty fun. I didn't even recognize her. Didn't realize it was her. So props to her. And then rounding out the notable actors and actresses, we have the Hoff, David Hasselhoff, playing himself on a really corny talent reality show. It was actually kind of funny. My opinion, he was probably the best part of the movie. He was hilarious, and his lines. Whoever wrote the lines did a really good job with his lines, I think. And he performed them well. So I'm gonna let Mole take it from here. And what did you think of the acting and the characters in this movie?
I will point out, I can't fucking stand Russell Brand. I really don't like that guy. Seriously, that almost put me off watching it. However, just like I can't stand Jack Black, I do love Kung Fu Panda.
Mm-hmm.
This is the film with him in that I don't mind him. I actually like him in this, which that goes a lot to say with that. And of course, you know who my favourite characters were in this entire film. The Pink Berets.
Yes.
I love the Pink Berets. It's little cute pink bunnies with pink berets that shoot poison or sleeping darts at people. It's awesome with like little ninja moves and stuff.
We shall hereafter refer to them as House's Angels.
The Pink Berets.
I do like the Pink Berets. They were my favourite ones. But I'll let James go next because I mentioned my favourite ones.
And they have the best theme song.
So,
overall, I thought the acting was generally good for the movie. James Marsters was
Marsden.
James Marsters.
Marsden.
Marsden, whatever.
Get the name right, or Mole will end you.
No, he won't. He's not Aeon.
Think of it like this: Masters is Spike from Buffy. Marsden is Cyclops from X-Men.
Okay. If I'd actually watched Buffy, then that might be an easier thing. But anyway, he was okay. I thought the acting generally was pretty good. Hugh Laurie definitely did a good job as the Easter Bunny. Russell Brand was pretty good as EB. I haven't really seen Russell Brand in much, so I can't really comment as to whether I like him or not. But in small doses, he seems to be okay at least.
Mm-hmm.
And he was pretty good in this movie voicing EB because I knew beforehand that he was voicing EB, but I kind of forgot when I watched the movie. So that was kind of cool.
By the way, Jim, what do you mean by small doses? As EB was one of the main characters.
Yes, but he was EB. He wasn't Russell Brand.
Yep. He didn't do any of the
Russell
Russell Brand
movies. No matter who he's playing, he's Russell Brand.
Yep, and he didn't do any of the Russell Brand style of humor or mannerisms and stuff, which was brilliant.
Yep. I also agree the Hoff was great. I love the Hoff. Always hilarious. And in addition to the director, there's another connection to SpongeBob because he played himself in the SpongeBob movie too.
Indeed. And shall we run through some of our favorite lines here, most likely by the Hoff? Like, for instance, my best friend is a talking car.
Yep, and I did love that line. Like I said, I loved the line of EB being like, yeah, but I abandoned him in a house when my friend needed me. I abandoned him in a house filled with ninja bunnies. And the Hoff just leans through and plays it completely straight and goes, ah, yes, a dilemma as old as time itself. And I was like, that's genius.
I love how he played the scene immediately following that, where he's like, go to him. Yep. And then David Hasselhoff, and he just turns around and does the Randy Orton thing as he walks out to the stage.
With a big grin on his face after being completely straight-faced. It's a big grin with the arms up.
Yep. That, my friends, is the Hoff. That's why half the time he's friggin' brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the Hoff is awesome.
Yes, he is.
Indeed.
So on the whole, what did you guys think of the acting and characters in this movie?
I thought they did a good job. It was for what it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I thought the character development was very, very good too. Especially the character development of the two main characters and of the Easter Bunny himself. The fathers, actually, the Easter Bunny and Fred's fathers. They both had character development arcs throughout the entire movie as well. It was as much their story as it was their son's story.
Yep. Wasn't Fred's father played by the guy from who was the main father and stuff as well in the Brady Bunch movies?
It would be Henry O'Hare, right?
Yes, I think so.
He's played by Gary Cole.
I swear he was in the Brady Bunch movies.
He's been in Family Guy. He was in 30 Rock. Royal Pains, let's see. Penguins of Madagascar. A lot of TV stuff. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. He was in True Blood. Don't see Brady Bunch on here. He was Jim Corrigan, the Spectre, in DC Showcase Original Shorts Collection.
That's the one I'm thinking of. A very Brady movie and a very Brady movie sequel.
Fun fact, he was also the voice of Commissioner Gordon in Batman Under the Red Hood.
Nice.
Anyway, enough of the list.
Also, I'd just like to say for the record,
Mhm.
I don't know her name, but the actress that plays James Marsden's sister.
Which one?
I can't stand her. I don't know why. I really can't stand that actress.
Kaylee Cuoco?
Yeah.
The blonde chick
That was-
from...
For some reason, I don't know. Maybe it was just this movie. I don't know. But she just annoyed the crap out of me in this movie. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. It's just their character's kind of grating for some reason.
Fair enough. And...
Admittedly, I haven't seen her in much else, but yeah.
Nope. What the hell was that guy's name?
Which guy?
The actor. Was it... Is it Gary Cole?
Yes. The guy that played the father? Yeah.
Yes, he was. I just looked. Yes, he was Mike Brady.
Wow.
Oh, good for him. Is he also secretly gay?
I don't know, but he was in a movie called Gay Dudes.
There you go.
I think that's what it was called. I kind of noticed that going down the list. But anyway. Yes. Characters.
I'll say the actress you on about though, James, she does a good job. As much as I don't like the series, she does a good job in other stuff like Big Bang Theory. She did an even better job in a series I did love of 8 Simple Rules. It's just, yeah, this one, she was more a little bitchy-ish, but that's only because, from her standpoint, it was the fact her brother was a complete slacker and getting away with shit. She had to be the responsible one.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it was how it was written, and her character was kind of two-dimensional, let's be honest.
Yep.
Yeah, just a little.
Lot to the character.
Yeah.
But given what she had, I thought she did a respectable job.
Fair enough.
Although I will say, one of my other favourite scenes in the film did involve her, where she picks up EB and she's like, "Oh, look at the little stuffed bunny," and she's then like hugging it like a teddy, and you just see EB grab her hair and start sniffing it while looking at her brother as he's like, "Stop it, stop it, stop it."
Yeah, he starts stroking the hair. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there were a lot of good moments, a lot of good character moments in this movie. And it's to me, it's surprising, actually, given the kind of movie this is. And I'll admit, when I first saw the trailers for it, I was like, okay, it's got an Easter Bunny. The story seems seems unique, but eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realize, you know what it is that annoys me? You know what it is? It's the way she was in this movie, that actress, Kaylee Cuoco. She reminds me of another actress, a Nicole somebody or other, who was on Mad TV.
Okay.
And that actress annoys the fuck out of me, and she reminded me of her in this movie. I think that's why she grated me in this movie.
Fair enough. But it's like another scene with her which I thought was hilarious, and I have to give a shout out because he watched the film with us, to Red Mike from XPound. As the scene was going on, EB, I should say, he poops candy, and there was a scene where she sees these jelly beans on the side that look like Hop's poop, and to her they just look like jelly beans, so she leans down, she picks them up, and it goes towards her mouth, and all I can hear is Red Mikey going ew, 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 ew as she puts in her mouth and starts to go and then he's like I even felt the need to type ew to us. That just made it a little more hilarious.
Yep. The movie did what it was trying to do. It made one of the audience members go ew. Anyway, okay, so we agreed we liked the characters and their arcs, so let's move on to presentation. The look of the movie. A lot of this movie was CG, so let's talk about that. I thought the look of I thought it was kind of funny. They used Easter Island as the base of the Easter Bunny, and to get into their underground lair, so to speak. They went in through one of the Moai heads on Easter Island. Mouth opens up and they go, and I thought that was cool.
Yep. And I think James has something to say.
Yes, James.
No, when he introduced the category, I just wanted to say presentation.
Oh, okay.
Fair. But yeah, I liked the CG in this. I thought it worked primarily because in most movies these days, especially movies these days that try to use CG, they try to make it look realistic to make it fit with the world that they're trying to portray. But because with this movie there was two distinct worlds they were portraying, the real world, the world we live in, and the world of the Easter Bunny. And because the world of the Easter Bunny is supposed to be fantastical and magical, they could get away with allowing CG to look CG, and it worked for this movie in my opinion. The fact that it looked CG because it looked fantastical.
It's because it was
that way.
It's because, like you mentioned, it was directed by the guy that did Alvin and the Chipmunks. While I don't like the Alvin and the Chipmunks film, even though I do own all three, they do a good job in those films of making the little chipmunks appear like they're actually there and get away with, because they're cartoony and stuff, you believe they're there. The actors do a good job of looking down where they're going to be and interacting. Similar to what they've done in Smurfs and Garfield and stuff, which I find if a character's got some sort of cartoony element, your mind instantly just says, okay, sorry, I'm going to allow this because they're cartoony. Whereas if they go, like you mentioned, if they go for realism, you're looking for the mistakes.
Right. Well, the point I was trying to make is, like, for instance, like I said, in this movie, the CG looks CG, and oftentimes that's a bad thing. Like, for instance, if you take the CG from this movie and you try to put it into, like, Lord of the Rings, it's not going to work. Because in Lord of the Rings, the CG they did in there had to look real and make you believe that's a real orc, or that's really Legolas, jumping up on the friggin' Mummikil and stuff. But if all of a sudden it actually starts looking CG, like straight up, like out of a video game CG, like what this looked like cartoony CG, it's not gonna work. But for this movie, it worked because they were trying to portray two distinct worlds. And for the world of the Easter Bunny, because again, it's supposed to be fantastical and magical, it works. Cheesy, cartoony CG works.
I know, and the point I was making was cartoony CG stuff. It works for films like this, Garfield and stuff, where they're either based on comic-y, cartoony properties, or it's trying to be a cartoony thing itself. It works because, like you mentioned with Lord of the Rings, when I was watching those films, I hated some of the CGI. Like, I could tell you instantly when Gollum... Okay, it's like, yeah, okay, Gollum's obvious CGI right here in the films. He looked like crap. Because they would try to make him realistic, and I just did not buy it as realistic.
Fair enough.
But, which always goes back to the thing I always say of, for example, take Batman Begins, where they use the the miniatures to do the CGI crash of the thing. It looks so much better because it's like a model and stuff, as opposed to trying to do it CGI. It always comes off fake. However, because this is cartoony and more of a family-friendly kids film, fake CGI actually works, because it's like the kids are like, yay, a cartoon character.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, it fits for the look of the world they're trying to portray. Because I thought the Easter Bunny's world looked awesome. I was like, that's actually pretty cool looking. The big, like, Skittle waterfall and stuff. I thought that was cool. So, I don't know, what'd you guys think? Jim, you want to say some stuff?
overall the presentation was very good. I thought for what it was, cartoony CGI, it was pretty well done. The actors interacted with the CGI characters very well. That really made it work. Yeah, I agree. They did miss when they made the Easter Bunny's factory look really cool. All the candy and everything looked realistic. And the presentation of the cartoon elements in the real world, I think, was pulled off pretty nicely. And the fact that all the actors had to acknowledge EB and the other CGI characters did it in a very accurate manner, and it looked like they were really there. So they certainly pulled off a seamless transition like that.
Now, one thing I was wondering is the two dogs. Those were real dogs on the set. Yes, do we know?
Yes, they look real to me.
Because I was kind of impressed at the fact that the one scene where they have the pink berets infiltrating the mansion, and they have one of them like massaging the dog or petting the dog. It's like that interaction just looked really good to me. I was kind of impressed with that.
It looked really good, and like I said, I liked the pink berets. That was so fucking cute. They tranquilized the terrifying dog. I mean, she strokes his little nose.
Mm-hmm. And the
The
interaction
pink
was
berets, the pink berets.
She pats his nose. It's such an adorable little thing, and I know I shouldn't be talking that way, but still, it's an adorable little thing. I liked it.
Yep, like I said, house is angels.
Yep.
Hello, doctor. Hello. Anyway, all right. So let's move on to what actually turned out to be a relatively large part of this movie: the music and sound. I really loved the music in this movie, what music there was in there, and it was a relatively large part. Again, because as I mentioned near the top of this review, EB, the son of the Easter Bunny, is actually a musician. He's like a rock and roll drummer, so he's always playing music. And they have in the video game facility where Fred is looking for a job, they're actually doing recording for a music game. They do games like Rock Band style and whatnot, and so they were recording music, and they had a blues group in there, but they didn't have a drummer, so EB kind of slipped in, got up on the drum set, and started rocking out with these blind blues guys. And the music was awesome. You know, I'm a huge fan of blues. I'm a huge fan of rock and roll. So to me, the music was just awesome. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I thought basically, like I mentioned, and like you mentioned, it's directed by the guy that did Alvin and the Chipmunks. I knew there was going to be music in this, based on the Chipmunks films. Luckily, it wasn't as out of place as it was in there. And you got, like with the Alvin and the Chipmunks, you got pop songs recovered in more of a family-ish, friendly-ish way.
Right.
Funny. But yeah, basically, like for example, who didn't love the I want candy?
Yeah, that was awesome.
I want candy. What was that, James? Did you say you want candy?
The thing that really sold the I Want Candy, in my opinion, and I don't know if they did this by design or if they just lucked the fuck out, was the fact that James Marsden can actually sing.
He can.
He,
I don't think they
bust out and
looked.
started singing it near the end of it, and I was like, okay, yeah, he kind of sells the whole act here. The fact that he can actually sing, so it doesn't sound like crap when he starts singing.
I don't think they looked out. I believe this film came out after Enchanted, and he sung in Enchanted.
Fair enough.
Awesome film. Check it out today.
Indeed.
But yeah, kudos to the casting.
When remind me when I Want Candy, when did that come up?
The play, his
right,
Jim
okay.
sister's play, yeah.
Right. So in relation to the music, Manga Shadow, to bring it up, I believe you had some issues with the montage music.
Oh, that song. It's a good song. It's an okay song. I was just kind of surprised they used it as a training montage song. I was like, really? I guess they were trying to be funny, but still, like that is not a training montage song.
Would you like to identify the song for the benefit of the audience listening at home that might not have seen the movie?
I don't remember the name of that song. I've just heard it before.
Ah, okay.
I will also point out with the I Like Candy song, as I wrote when we were doing the review, or when we were watching, I should say, He poops candy. Therefore, he's basically it'd be like me singing to all of you. I want shit. I want shit. Of course, if you think about it that way, like I did in my head, it kind of ruins the moment for you.
By the way, for that bit, do we know if Russell Brand was actually the one singing?
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he can sing a bit.
Yeah, he's a decent singer.
Fair enough. But yeah, I enjoyed the musical moments, even the montage. Even though I didn't think the song kind of fit, but yeah, trying to be funny, fair enough.
You know what song they should have used?
What's that?
It's gotta be a montage.
There you go.
Sports training montage. Take it away, James.
We need a montage. Even Rocky had a montage.
Yeah, I guess the issue I had with that one song though for the training montage is that, and I think it's called is it like I Speak Americano or something? I'm probably not getting the name right, but people probably know what I'm talking about. But the melody is fine; it sounds good. Just the lyrics don't work for a training montage.
They work for a training montage about a chicken pulling a car and a rabbit riding a dog over a fence. It worked. I mean, tell me, what song would have gone with them?
I don't know, the Rocky theme? Come on, that's the standard training montage music. It works. That's like Guile's theme. It goes with any training montage.
It does.
All right, so let's move on to our final verdict. What we thought about this movie, we'll be rating it out of 10. And I will let Chris the Mole go first.
Honestly, it's a family holiday film. So, like I said, it gets leeway. I enjoyed it. I like the characters. I've got a little niece and nephew who've watched that, and they've requested to borrow my DVD again next week when it's Easter. So, basically, I'm going to have to give it, probably, in my opinion, an 8 out of 10. I mean, it hits the bars it needs to. It identifies with the audience it wants to. And it does in a fun little way. To me, like I mentioned, this film is now to Easter what like Muppets Christmas Carol, Nightmare Before Christmas, Scrooge and stuff to Christmas. It's that film I have to watch when Easter's on.
And fair enough. Jim?
I can agree with the 8 out of 10. It was a fun family oriented film. Kids, adults, everybody got it. There's something for everybody to laugh about. The kids can laugh about the whole, oh, candy poops, etc. The adults can laugh at David Hasselhoff referencing things the kids don't know. It had something for everybody. It was a simple kids movie. It's a holiday movie. It accomplished what it set out to accomplish. It worked. I agree. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. And I can agree with the two of you. It was a fairly good movie for what it was. As Mo pointed out, it hit all the bars it needed to hit. It's a family movie, and it's apparent that it's a family movie. And if any of you listeners out there have children and you need something to do with them for Easter, get this movie and put it on for them. I think they'll enjoy it because I can totally see kids enjoying this.
You said anyone out there with kids? Hi, Richter.
Yes, exactly. I might have to get Richter to get this for his kids. Although these are also the same kids that like Power Rangers, so I don't know. We'll see.
We're the same people that like Power Rangers.
Yes, but we're acceptant of the fact that Power Rangers is crap. The kids don't know any better.
True. But my nephew and niece also enjoy Power
Technically
Rangers.
speaking, they do. Richter has shown them MMPR on Netflix.
Yep, like I said, my niece and nephew enjoy Power Rangers too. But regardless, continue with your final verdict, host.
Yeah. So I did like the movie. I liked it more than I thought I was going to like it. The actors did a respectable job. In some cases, did a really good job, especially with the whole interacting with the CG character, like with James Marsden and Kaylee Cuoco. I thought they did a good job with that. And as I've seen from watching a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff on different movies, trying to fake like you're interacting with a character that's not there, that's going to be CG'd in, not an easy thing to do. So props to them for actually pulling it off and making it believable. I'll agree with the 8 out of 10. It was a fairly good movie. Good music, good acting, good ambience, good presentation. So on the whole, if you're looking for a feel-good movie that you can watch with the entire family, and with Easter coming up, Hop is a really, really good choice. So I'd like to thank Chriz the Mole for joining me on this Easter special.
The pleasure was all yours.
Indeed it was. And thanks to the boss, James Phoenix.
Anytime.
I've been your host, Marcus Shadow. Until the next Showtime. See ya.
Guess I can assume it's over now. Shattered and confused, you left me broken. I guess I can assume it's over now. But you forgot the door and you left it open.
You look around and what do you see? A rainy morning in the QC. But through the unruly you see the beauty, and it's truly magnificent, like you made a difference. Don't be a hypocrite, you know the reason for it. You finally let go of all the hate you held over that heartbreak. For your heart's sake you moved on, but now you partake and crushing other spirits based on appearance. Heart is shielded, no one can get